You're listening to a Cup of Resilience podcast with Tamiko Drummond. Real topics, real people, real solutions.
Hello, everyone. Guess what? It is a Cup of Resilience time. My name is Tamiko Drummond, and I'm known as the Brand Success Coach. Hello, everyone. Guess what? It is a Cup of Resilience time, and this is a special edition for Mother's Day. Woo! Guess who I have in the building? I have Alma Hooks, the incredible founder of Incredi-Bites, and we're going to talk about balancing business and motherhood. And listen, you have to balance business and motherhood, because when I reached out to Alma and said, hey, I want you on my podcast, she said, Tamiko, that time is not good for me, but I'm available at 9:30 on Friday. And I said, you know what? Yes. So thank you so much for being here, Alma, and welcome to a Cup of Resilience. How are you?
I am wonderful, Tamiko. Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be here. Tells you how life changes, right? We're both at home on a podcast 9:30 at night on a Friday, right?
Right. Right. Listen, before we get started, I actually want you to talk about yourself and your business. And then I want to ask you, how do we know each other? And what have I done for your business, or how have I helped you in your business?
Absolutely. So again, and first, let me do a early happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and to you as well, Tamiko. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. And thank you, David. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you.
So a little bit about me. I am Alma Hooks, as Tamiko said. I am the founder of Incredi-Bites, which is an all-natural, small batch organic baby food company. We customize meal plans for children 4 months to 2 years old, but we also deliver to provide that convenience for parents. So something we're going to talk about today is knowing when to delegate, and that is where we step in, really just helping parents to delegate nutritional needs for their kids. So a little bit about Incredi-Bites. We've been in existence for about a year. We started last year during the pandemic. So talking about pivot, right? But it has definitely been an honor to just serve the children and the parents and provide convenience, and just knowing that we're creating baby foodies all around Atlanta.
Yes. So before we delve into our topic and more about you, how do we know each other, and how have I helped your business?
Oh my goodness, you are like the marketing mastermind. So Tamiko and I actually first met through HRKS, which is a consulting firm here in Atlanta. Speaking of pivot, right? So I have a technical background in HR, specifically corporate HR. When I decided to leave corporate and be home with my son. But HRKS provided such an amazing opportunity to be able to consult and still tap into that joy of mine of helping businesses. And that's where I met Tamiko. And so just through conversations and getting to know each other on a professional level, it was discovered that I also have a baby food company. And I was just talking to Tamiko about some of the issues I'm having when it comes to marketing, because my brain doesn't always work that way, right? But Tamiko literally digested everything I said, you guys, and just created like steps on how easy it can be to create content, to generate some people and excitement, events we can do. I mean, it just made it so much easier to really help with my social media management and just ideas. She's amazing, y'all. I have nothing else to say about that.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Alma, because listen, Alma is now the SME, the subject matter expert in the natural baby food industry. Okay? How about
Yeah.
that? Boom. I wish I'm not going to move my mic. I'm not going to drop the
Right,
mic.
right,
But she is killing it. Her business is doing absolutely well. And if y'all really need to follow her on Instagram, and you can let them know later. But now let's go back, rewind. Let's delve into our topic for tonight. So it's this weekend is Mother's Day weekend. You are a mother and a business owner. So we're talking about balancing business and motherhood. How are you doing it, my dear? How are you doing it?
So I'm
Woosah.
gonna, right. I'm gonna take a deep breath and not laugh too loud so the 2-year-old doesn't wake up, right? But no, I will say it is an art and a science. It takes first a lot of prayer and a lot of giving myself grace. And what I mean by that is, like I mentioned before, I initially left corporate America because I wanted to be home with my son, working 12, 13 hours a day, only seeing him 2, maybe 3 hours a day. Just didn't work for me. And so I had that vision in my head, but I'm career A-type personality mom. So of course I had a schedule he had to follow. I wanted him potty trained by a certain time. He had to know certain words by a certain age, and just putting a lot of pressure on myself did not start off too well, right? So giving myself grace to know, okay, I know I block mornings off for him. However, if I have a meeting on this day and we don't go over all sight words, that's okay. Right?
Right.
If he like, you're still a good mom, Alma. Or even though I'm in the organic, all natural homemade baby food industry, sometimes he just wants sweet potato fries for dinner, like that's okay. So
Right.
giving yourself grace is number one, because it's not going to always go as planned. The other thing I would definitely say is knowing what's most important to you. Okay, so that I'm going to go into that before I go into the logistical aspect of like scheduling and using my calendar and communication and all of those things. But I know at this point in time, my son is of utmost importance to me because he wasn't in school, right, for the pandemic. And I know I wanted to really pour into his education. And so if that's the case, then I know I'm going to block out time for whatever is important on my calendar. What does that mean for me? That means typically I won't take a meeting between the hours of 9 and 12, because that's my blocked out time for academics, eating, spending time, so he can still get that one-on-one. Now, after that, it's like nuts until maybe, Tamiko, we've communicated at like midnight before, and then communicated again at like 7 in the morning, right? So
Right.
sleep is sometimes lacking, but just knowing what's most important to you. And it's going to be different seasons. I have a young child, but then I know other business owners who have older kids. And so they can schedule their time differently, right? And then they can juggle different balls and say, okay, this business is most important right now. And then the second business can be filtered throughout the day.
Right.
So knowing what's most important and being unapologetic about it.
That's really good. That is really good. I love that what you said about giving yourself grace, and the fact that you do take that time to have the one-on-one time with him. That is so important. And I know you don't feel guilty doing that because it's needed, especially at the age that he is. So kudos to you, Mom. Kudos.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And then that secondary piece is the calendar aspect. So just to set a stage for you guys, my husband works in another state, and he is also a football coach. And for example, right now it's spring ball, right? So it definitely takes a lot of communication, a lot of teamwork, but then a lot of calendar work. So I know before I schedule an appointment, I probably have 2 other calendars to look at and consider, and also consider the little one. I also know that I have some clients that I can have a 2-year-old around. If he makes a noise, it's okay, right? You
Mhm.
have other clients, that's not the case. So you might have to hire a babysitter or utilize some other resource. So just knowing your surroundings, but utilizing that calendar, prioritizing, definitely writing things out, that to-do list, and the days it can get done during that weekly planning helps a lot.
Now, let me ask you, Alma, what kind of calendar are you using? Is it just like a book calendar, or is it something that's in your office, big, written out?
Yeah, so it depends on the project I have going
Mhm.
on. But I love the happy planners. Like, I'm obsessed with them
Mhm.
because they allow you to like plan out your meals and your goals, and it's just all touchy and feely. So I love the happy planner. But if it's during football season and I have like a huge contract where it's, weekly, that I'm going to be doing something, we
Right.
put it on the big calendar. So not only can my husband see my schedule, but I can also see his, and we're always on the same page because,
Mhm.
he may not be as detailed as I am with the
Right.
calendar situation. So it's good to see that up large, but it really just depends on the project we have going on.
Let me ask you, so what happens if, because I know for your business, sometimes, especially everything is opening up right now, sometimes you may have to travel. How do you balance business and motherhood during those times where you may have to be away from home?
Really good question. So, depending on how long I have to be away from home, I will call
Mhm.
my mom so she can
Right.
fly up. She doesn't live here.
Mhm.
The other piece is I am so fortunate to have a husband that is a firefighter, so he gets certain days off, and I will schedule my travel during that time. So, for example, right now, I'm just not at the stage, even though I love to travel. I have a 2.5-year-old, so I can't be
Mhm.
gone for a week, 2 weeks. Like, I can't right now, unfortunately. He cramping my style a little bit, y'all, but it's okay, right?
Right.
That's motherhood, right? But I base it again off my husband's schedule, and
Mhm.
again, that communication. And I know I can't be gone more than 2 days.
Right. So, what other tips do you have for the mom? I know you wanted to break it down scientifically. How do you balance business and motherhood? Like, what is the a couple of other takeaways that you're like, okay, you have to do these steps,
Mhm.
and maybe it's not even that deep that you have to do these steps, but what's been helpful for you?
So I read this book called 5 Things That Highly Successful People Do Before 8 a.m. by Terry Savoy. It was literally life changing
Mhm.
because I felt like I was always playing catch up when I would wake up, and I felt like I had no time for myself.
Mhm.
And I just felt out of whack, like out of balance. And that changed because the first thing before I check email, before I check a text message, I check in with God. That's just my routine, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
so if that means me waking up at 6 or 5:30, like I make sure I do that, and it's time away from everyone for me to meditate, for me to do my Bible study, for me to just start my day off very solid.
Mhm.
Um I would pretend that I work out every single day, but I don't. But
Right. Me
but
either, ma'am.
right, that's the goal, right? But if working out is a priority, then I personally don't believe in longer workouts than like 30 minutes. But like doing a quick 30-minute hit workout after your prayers, that helps
Mhm.
too. And so I know there are certain things that I have to have completed before 8 a.m.
Right.
And then that's when I know, okay, 8 a.m., 7:30, 8 a.m., the little one's going to be up. So now we're going to start
Mhm.
the whole mommy routine. But I've poured into myself first.
Right.
So that getting up early really helps. And I stick to it whether I go to bed at 9 or I go to bed at 1 a.m. because I need that. Um,
That's
and then
awesome.
Yeah. And so then afterwards, that's when we really focus on the whole routine of, all right, whatever mommy stuff I got to do. And then after
Mhm.
that, it's work, work, work. For my orders, I shop on Sundays, I cook on Mondays, freeze it, deliver it, get it delivered. So knowing where to delegate also helps.
That's awesome. I actually do the same thing. So I wake up really early and just have that time to pray, read the word, and just get my day going. Like, okay, center myself. This is going to be a great day. Say my mantras, and it ends up being a wonderful day. And I realize that I need that. I need that time just alone. Especially, I get up like 4 because
Ooh,
I feel like, yeah, I know everyone
that's
else
great.
is asleep. I feel like I'm, I just have a closer, everybody is sleeping. It's just me and God. So
Yeah,
it helps. It certainly does. It does. So I
that's
understand.
amazing, Tamiko, that you wake up at 4 a.m. Number one.
Yeah, sometimes I
That's
don't want to, but I do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think there's a
Mhm.
statistic that like 80% of highly successful people, like most of the wealthy people in the world, but most CEOs, they all have a morning routine
Yeah.
that includes meditating,
Mhm.
praying to whatever you pray to, and also knowledge. So whether it's reading an article, a book, something about your business, but pouring into yourself. So that's incredible.
Right. Now, don't get me wrong. I work from home, and I work for myself. So there will be nap time sometimes. I take naps. So, and I
That's
think that
good,
helps
all
highly
right? You
effective
gotta,
people as well throughout the
yes,
day.
yes, you gotta recharge that battery.
Right.
You have
Like,
to.
Liz, my body will say, I don't know about you, but we're about to shut it down. So if I have a break, there's okay, I could take a nap here or
Yeah.
just center myself again.
Hmm.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
incredible.
So tell us more so I know that you're balancing motherhood and your business. Tell us more about your business. What is it that you actually do for your clients? And yeah, go from there and then we'll start
Yeah.
wrapping it up.
Yeah. So Incredi-Bites is my baby. Um, not to sound too philosophical, but we were literally sitting down watching The Incredibles one day, and I feel like I heard God speak like, you need to provide a service for parents, because I was already meal prepping for my son.
Nice.
And what I've learned is that it is helping parents. Number one, it's helping them through the just meal prepping aspect because it's so time consuming and so cumbersome. But
Right.
then we also go through consultations. So, for example, the child might not always like spinach with apples, but you know
Right.
what? They like it separately, apples by itself and then spinach by itself. So, it's
Mm.
understanding that child individually and knowing that it's not a one size fits all. That is not food at all,
Right.
right? And so the fact that we also deliver just takes something extra off the parent's plate. But what we're most proud of is one, the freshness. So it's delivered within 24 hours of the food being made. It's made fresh, delivered frozen. But it is also very different type of recipes that you're not going to find on the shelf at Target or on the shelf at Publix, right? So
Right.
I am from Miami with a Ghanaian background, so I love me some flavors. Okay,
Right.
so we're gonna have paprika and garlic and onions and garlic and peppers. Like, we're going to put that in the food, because what a lot of people don't realize is you have a flavor window with your children. And so from the ages of 4 months to 7 months, that is when you want to introduce them to all of the goodness that comes out of the gardens and all the goodness that comes off the trees, so they can build that foundation and continue to like it throughout their childhood.
Nice. So I love that you put flavors within the food. Before, when my son was a baby, we used to play and act like airplane. Hey, and then he'll be like, and then I would taste it, and I'll be like, two. I'm like, okay, no wonder this don't taste good. It just so like babies need a little flavor too. Okay, start putting the seasoning. in there now. It's important to season the food, even as an adult. So
introduce their palates to that world of flavor so they can fall in love with food like we have, right? Like that's the whole purpose. And in a lot of other countries, I've done a lot of studying on this, in a lot of other countries, for example, like France, their allergy rate is much lower than that of kids in the United States because the parents are introducing their children to different flavors and foods and textures at such a much younger age than we do.
Wow.
They also have those preservatives and stuff in their food, but that's a whole nother
conversation. I was going to say, and that's the main point of your business is having natural. The food is natural. And you all actually need to follow her. But before I go there, I want to come back a little bit. What's one thing that you want to like leave them with as it relates to balancing motherhood and business?
Yes. That's a really good question. So I'm thinking, one thing I want to leave you with is first prioritize what is most important to you and build your schedule around that. You won't feel guilty at the end of the day. Now, there will be some days you do. I mean, we're moms, right? We're just hard on ourselves for no reason, but prioritize what's important and build your schedule around that. That's what I'll leave with you.
I think that's enough said. Enough said. So Alma, how can people get in touch with you, follow you, and let's see. I was gonna say, you're a speaker as well, correct? Because yes. I've seen you, right. So how can they get in touch with you? And if they have younger kids and need that natural homemade baby food that has some flavor to it that can be delivered, how do they get in contact with you?
Okay, thank you for that, Tamiko. And yes, we use the same methods you would use at home. So we bake, we boil, we steam, exactly what you would do at home. We're just doing it and we're putting it in a jar. So yes, thank you for that, Tamiko. But a couple ways you can get in contact with me. So first, the website, of course, www.Incredi-Bites.com. There's a hyphen in the middle of Incredi and Bites. My email is Alma, AMA, at Incredibites.com. You also have Instagram. You can follow me on at Incredi_Bites. For parents who want to do it themselves, it's a great page to follow because we give you not only recipes, but tips. We do the research for you, so you can just get it yourself. We really want as many parents as possible. If you don't do business with us, try making the food yourselves because there are so many studies out there showing the lead and arsenic metals in store-bought baby food. So it's like a movement. All right. So join the movement.
Join the movement
of homemade baby food. And then you can also follow us on Facebook, Incredi-Bites Baby Food. And then of course, LinkedIn. You can look for me on LinkedIn. I'm a hook. Or you can also look for Incredi-Bites. But for speaking engagements, LinkedIn will be a great option. So I know that was a lot, but just remember Alma at Incredibites.com.
Right. Listen, Alma, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And everyone, guess what? Give Alma a round of applause because this was her first ever podcast.
Thank you so much, Tamiko, for having me. This was so much fun. There is no other way I would want to spend my Friday night. So
right. So thank you, my dear. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm having a cup of resilience instead of a cup of anything else, right?
Hello. Tell the people again. Thank you. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for a cup of resilience on a Friday night. But hey, enjoy your weekend and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And I hope you got something from this. Alma made it work. She does make it work. She has a 2.5-year-old and she is killing it in her business. And she is such an awesome mom as well. And y'all really need to follow her page because I know she's making baby food, but the other recipes that she makes, OMG, I'm about to ask her to cook for me too. Okay. So, thanks again for joining us for A Cup of Resilience. My name is Tamiko Drummond, known as the Brand Success Coach. And until next time, have a wonderful weekend. And again, happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to A Cup of Resilience. Follow, like, share at A Cup of Resilience. At A Cup of Resilience.
My name is Tamiko Drummond, and I'm known as the Brand Success Coach. Once you choose us, they will never stop talking about you.